Actually, it makes the teacher creative first. While thinking on your lecture how to make it different, the lecturer learns and understands the methods and later the students. So the creativity begins with the lecturer. Afterwards, in online lessons, more communication begins. Students began to interest in lectures more. They began to talk and declare their thoughts more often.
I think we need to teach creativity to engineers because the creative process is very important for engineering courses and also important for engineering designs. It helps us to analyze and find the best solutions for best engineering designs, and it helps us to analyze the problems. So it helps us to solve problems related with engineering.
If they can understand the process itself, it demystifies, and if you like, how they're going to be creative. It allows them then to think outside the box, and it gives them that structure where they can communicate effectively in teams with each other to be more creative. What we find is without the understanding of the process, the students from our experience have tended to maybe stall in terms of being creative. They get a little bit overwhelmed, but also they tend to copy what's been done before, and they don't know where to look to think outside of the box or to change the norms that they're used to.
I think from our perspective, it brings structure to what is an unknown for our students. I think it also helps in terms of the partners that we bring on board, in that we can kind of walk them through the journey that they're going to take with us. Everybody knows where they are at any one point in time, so student diaries get full, and you know, they may miss sessions, etc. So I think it does give that orientation. I think the language and the nature of the creative process is inclusive in terms of the approach we use. So it kind of it removes any hierarchy from the groups. So sometimes we would have, or we would always have, maybe undergrads mixed in with PhD students, etc. So it's something new to everybody. So you come to it kind of fresh and naive about the process. So everybody starts on page 1, line 1. I think I suppose the approach from what we've seen on campus is that it generates better innovations and more thoughtful considerations of problems. So it introduces empathy for our participants who complete the programs that we do. And I think we've seen the benefit of the outcomes. So, you know, whilst it would be wonderful if every student team came out with a Fortune 500 company at the end, we know that when they come through the process with us, that they will develop a certain set of skills, and that they will develop as a person, the whole teamwork aspect to it. So we know that, you know, it works, and we can measure it as well.
So for the students is that they mainly have a more holistic view on their challenge. That's the one advantage, I think, that they don't just look at the facts or at the numbers, but they are more focused on the solutions. And another very important thing for the students is by applying creativity methodology to push them to step in the shoes of the customers or the problem owners, or however you will describe the people students are creating solutions for, in an industry context as well as in a non-profit context. So it doesn't matter the context. The more important thing is that yet you step in the shoes and look at through the eyes of your customers or problem owners on your problem. I think these are the two benefits from a student's perspective, and from a teacher's perspective. I think it's much better to apply creativity methodology to encourage the students to work on the problem in a more entertaining way, I would say, not just putting in some facts and saying, okay, and find a solution right now. Design something or construct something, instead more design something.
I can teach students just to do it in a certain way, and they will probably get some results out of it. And I can also teach them to understand why does creativity work and so forth. I would always prefer the last, because I think if you understand why instead of just the how, you simply get further. And also because creativity is is not just a question of a specific method. They might help you, but you need a deeper sense, because in the definition of creativity, there's a certain kind of unknown, because creative ideas is those ideas that none others got, and so forth. So you can't put it all in a fixed scheme.
What I think is the benefit about knowing the creative process and knowing what kind of phases it has is that you then don't end up with just saying, okay, we need brainstorming, but that you can go into the process and say, okay, it has several phases. We first need to open, so we need some inspiration methods, we need some association methods, later we need to combine the methods, and for each of these phases we need a specific method, and that's important.
Vorteile auf jeden Fall, dass man aufgeklärter ist, wenn man Bescheid weiß, auf was man sich da einlässt, was so vielleicht auch typische Entwicklungen sind, Stationen innerhalb des Prozesses. Wenn man das im Vorfeld weiß, fühlt man sich vielleicht auch sicherer, sich darauf einzulassen.
Also bei uns machen viele Informationsdesigner Projekte. Das ist sehr stark im Studiengang, und da braucht man auch Kreativität. Und da sind zwei Sachen wichtig. Zum einen ist es wichtig, dass man weiß, dass jeder Mensch kreativ ist von Natur aus. Und dass man auch Kreativität trainieren kann und die eigene Kreativität verstärken kann. Und das Zweite sind einfach, dass man gute Methoden kennt, die es erlauben, auf einfache Art und Weise auf neue Ideen zu kommen. Und das ist eigentlich eine super Basis. Wenn man da noch die Gruppenarbeit gut funktioniert und da keine Störungen sind, dann kann man in der Gruppe sehr gut kreativ sein. Und es geht dann natürlich auch online, wenn man sich kennt.